to our house. Easter Bunny doesn't come to our house because we have pretty fierce dogs. Yeah.
Pretty fierce dogs.
That's what I do because I
Who's
was
the Easter Bunny, guys?
Guess what we got?
Because they need to know. They need to know what Easter's about, don't they?
Okay.
All right. So, who knows Jesus? Know about Jesus? Know what Jesus done? What did Jesus do, Bryce? What you got?
He gave his life for us.
All right. So he knows the basic things, okay? All right. So a long time ago, about 2,000 years ago, a man named Jesus, he died on the cross. Okay? He didn't do anything wrong. But the Pharisees, the church people of that time, didn't like him because they thought that he was saying that he was the Messiah. And so they took him. They took him to before Pilate, and Pilate said, "I can't find anything wrong with him because Jesus didn't do anything wrong." And so Pilate asked him, "Do you want this man to be crucified, or do you want Barabbas to be crucified?" And Barabbas was a murderer. He killed somebody. And you know what the Jews said?
Barabbas.
They said they wanted Jesus to be crucified. So they led Jesus up this hill, and he had to carry a cross just like this one, but it was probably about bigger and probably like humongous.
Hey, like the one outside? The big one?
Probably.
Why is there smoking stuff on it?
Well, they put this, and they put this on top of Jesus' head.
And they push it down.
Smashed it down on his head. Think that hurt? Probably did. And then they whipped him with a whip that had 40 different things like glass and nails, and they whipped him with it. And then they put this on his head, and they put a purple robe on him, and they marched him up this hill, and then they nailed him to this cross. They put one nail in his hand, and then they put another nail in his other hand. And then he put his feet together, and they nailed his feet to the cross. And then they put this sign up there that said, "The King of the Jews." And so,
Is that thing really sharp?
yes, it hurts, actually. So they nailed him to this cross, and there were two other people up there with him, just like in this picture. There was this man, there were two thieves. And one thief, the other thief was making fun of him and saying, if you're really God, why don't you just make yourself come down? But the other thief said, "No, this man has done nothing wrong. We're the ones that deserve to be up here." And you know what Jesus did? He said, "Today you shall be with me in paradise." So he saved that one man's life that day. Okay? And then then in about the 9th hour, Jesus finally died.
9 o'clock, I guess.
And I don't know what the 9th hour meant. That's just what it is in the Bible. But in the 6th hour, it was dark. And when Jesus died, the earth shook. There was a great earthquake. And the people around him said, "Surely this was the Son of God."
Especially that one was Audrey who spiked that spear.
Because they stuck him with a spear too after he died, just to make sure he was dead. They stuck a spear in his side. And then a man named Joseph gave Jesus his burying place, his tomb. So they stuck Jesus in a tomb like this, and they sealed it with a rock.
So thieves could get in there.
They sealed it with this rock, because the Pharisees thought the disciples would come and get Jesus out of the tomb. And they wanted to make sure that Jesus stayed in the tomb. Well, he stayed in there. And one day, a few women went to put spices on him. And they thought, well, how are we going to get in there? The tomb's sealed up. How are we going to come in there? And so, when they got there, the tomb was open. And there was an angel sitting right here on the top of the tomb. And they said, don't worry. They were worried. They said, what have they done with Jesus? What are we going to do? And the angel said, don't worry. Jesus is not here, but he is risen. So Jesus rose again. He rose after he died. He's alive right now. Isn't that exciting? But why did Jesus die? Why did he have to rise again? Anybody know?
He saved us when he died, but he also wanted to be with us when we got to heaven too. Either way, he wanted to be with us all the time. Plus that keeps things falling.
Plus what?
That thing keeps falling.
But it wouldn't have been really good if he would have not rose again, would he?
We probably wouldn't even get saved. We probably wouldn't.
It wouldn't be the Son of God, would he? He died for us so we could go to heaven to be with him. So he could come into our heart. He come in our heart. Okay? So we're going to memorize this verse over here. And I want you guys to remember it, okay?
You should
Remember
have
that.
painted God on there.
Should have painted God. Well,
Actually,
I don't think that could happen.
yeah. It'd be hard. You'd have to paint Jesus because God's everything kind of like. He's not somebody who's there. He's just.
See, Jesus died on the cross. God was in heaven. Okay? Because Jesus is God's Son. Alright? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16. So why did he give his Son?
To save the world.
To save the world. So that we could have everlasting life. So we can live forever with him. Okay? You guys want to memorize this verse?
Mm-hmm.
Say it, repeat after me. Remember we're repeating it? For God so loved the world.
For God so loved the world.
That he gave his only begotten Son.
That he gave his only begotten Son.
That whosoever believeth in him.
Whosoever believeth in him.
Should not perish.
Should not perish.
But have everlasting life.
But have everlasting life.
Yeah, basics.
Everlasting life. Is it eternal life or everlasting?
Everlasting. For God so loved the world.
Yep. It's everlasting life. John 3:16. I want to hear you girls and boys over here on this side. Can't hear you.
Everlasting.
Everlasting. We got it, Zach.
Okay.
All right. For God so loved the world.
For God so loved the world.
Okay. Let's say it one more time. For God so loved the world.
For God so loved the world.
That he gave his only begotten Son.
That he gave his only begotten Son.
Repeat after me, okay? That whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
John 3.
All right, let's say it all together. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
John 3:16. Can we turn around? We sound get the door in here. We go.
Can we come back out there after?
I don't know.
You'll remember it.
Oh gosh. We're getting to come back in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. We get to come back in here because we got a special visitor and we're going to do children's church.
Okay. Is that what we're gonna do on every Sunday?
That's what we're going to do.
No.
No. All right. Let's sing.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so.
Good job. See, I knew you knew it. I knew you knew it.
I can't remember the song.
Uh,
Just follow along, man.
all right. So.